Hi guys, little video on these WLTOYS V911 receiver modules. These have got the servos on board, they've also got motor output on board, 2.4 GHz, 4 channel. Now I originally bought this one over 8 months ago and managed to get it to bind to my FlySky FS 2.4B with no particular problems, other than I could only get the servos to work. I couldn't get any output from the motor ports. Now, fiddled around with it for a while, a few people gave me suggestions. Ben Portman suggested trying binding it with the throttle in the full on position and see if that worked, and it didn't work for me. Made no difference. I still couldn't get the power output from the motor tabs. I've also bound them with my FlySky CT6B, still no output from the motors. I bought another one in case the one that I had was faulty, and still the same problem. And then last night I was working with them, going through the radio control forums, reading what other people have done with them, and more or less by accident I went through what Ben Portman had told me to do again, but this time I moved my trim as far as it would go. So not only was it on full throttle, but it was fully trimmed as well, and the motors jumped into life. So I was quite amazed, and I now have full control over both modules. This one's absolutely standard. This one, if you have a look at one of my videos, there's a couple of little jumper tags on there that I soldered across to see if that made any difference, and it didn't. But they both work by putting the trim all the way to the full throw and the throttle all the way to the full throw. So I'll do a little demonstration. There was another little point. When I'm showing you full throttle and full throw, in fact I had to reverse the throttle down here, because it actually isn't full throttle it needs, it's absolute zero throttle, but it's reversed. So that is zero throttle for me only if I've got the throttle reversed to its normal point. Quite a lot of talk there, I'm sorry about that, but I'll now demonstrate. Now at the moment both of these are bound to this transmitter, so I'll rebind them to this transmitter and demonstrate. So we'll try this one first. We need to, I'll leave it in the way that it doesn't work, so we're middle trim, bottom position here, finger on the bind button, switch it on, so we've got power on the transmitter, power on the receiver, nothing much appears to happen, switch it off, switch it on again. Now we've got permanent light, and hopefully you can see that we've got control, but we've got nothing here. Now if I push that to full position, push that to full position, still nothing. Full the other way, full the other way, still nothing. Off and on, still nothing. Okay, so actually there might be a problem with that switch. No. So can't get it to bind, or at least it's bound, but I can't get control of it. And I think the reason for that is this one, I would have to go into the computer and adjust the throws, as they call them. So we'll turn that one off. We'll rebind it to my FlySky FS-T4B. First of all, I'll just switch it on and demonstrate it's not bound. Put it back to the middle position. Have my throttle the normal way round. Power off. Turn him off. Turn this on. I'll press the bind button first. Turn it on. Power on. Nothing apparently happened. Power off. Power on. And there we are. We've bound, but no throttle. Put it to the full position, and we're working. But that's full throttle, that's zero throttle. If I turn it the other way round, that's full throttle, that's zero throttle. So what Ben Portman had told me was right, apart from a few problems. It's reversed, and it wants to be zero throttle, not full throttle. You may notice it's still actually running even on zero throttle, which is a bit of a problem. And it doesn't matter how hard I push that, I can't stop it running. Now we'll move on to this one. Which I've rigged up. This isn't a hovercraft, it's not a ground effect vehicle, it's nothing. All I've done is I've rigged it up with one of those receivers so that I can demonstrate both motors and rudder and elevator. So power off, middle position, power on, switch it on, so this one's already bound, and you can see we've got elevator and rudder, although you can see I've got them the wrong way round, but that's no big deal. Okay, but we've got no motors again. Put this one to 0. And apart from the noise, I can actually, if I hold it, get it to shut up. But as soon as I take the pressure off it, so ideally you want something where you can adjust the throws so that it's got a proper 0 when it's switched off. The reason they're going separately is this is a helicopter receiver, so one's supposed to be the yaw and the other's the actual lift. So you could use it on a twin engine variable thrust plane if you wanted, or you can use elevator and throttle, elevator and rudder, only get them the right way round, not like I've done. Don't know how I managed to do that, but you can see it works. So we now need to make a plane to use it.